The Art Institute of Chicago is fortunate to have a set of 5 terracotta sculptures. They're named Banconi, which is a name of a site, an archaeological site in what is today Mali in West Africa. And that's where these objects come from. And they're interesting and important in a variety of ways. They're not only the oldest objects of sub-Saharan African art in our own collection, but beyond that, they're also representative examples of the highest quality of this particular style called Banconi, as we find it in many different collections, both museums and private collections in the world. What adds to their value is that they were acquired as a set of 5 objects, and they've been preserved as such. And that's quite special. Most of the time, objects that are part of a bigger group have been separated and do not appear together as they were originally conceived of. As far as the details of the objects go, they're also quite special because they show a great degree of detailing and elaboration, and in their imagery and iconography, they reveal something of a very sophisticated, hierarchical society. The specific inclusion of a man on a horse and rider, also reflect an important episode of West Africa's long and complex history, where the horse was used for long-distance trade and communication across a vast territory. The objects specifically date from between the 12th and the 15th century of our era.
In conservation, we have a technique called thermoluminescence that lets us test how old a ceramic artwork is. But what can sometimes happen is a forger will take bits of ancient ceramic from another object and piece it together to create a whole new object. And if you sample that new object, what's likely to happen is you'll get a result in line with the date that you're anticipating or hoping for. In particular, because the forgers know about this test and work hard to put the ancient fragments in places where we're more likely to test. But if you examine a ceramic using computed axial tomography or CT scanning, which is basically an X-ray but in 3D, you can actually see what the ceramic is made of, including whether or not it's a pastiche of different fragments, like this object. Thanks to our long-standing relationship with the University of Chicago School of Medicine, we were able to do just that. And what did we find? As each of our objects went through the scanner, we were able to see in real time that the figures were indeed broken in many places, which is to be expected for objects this old and with so many projecting parts. But they were all made in the exact same way, using the exact same type of clay. This was tremendously important. We can be sure that our figures were always a group and were not made up of different figures from different places or time periods. Data from the CT scanning process can also be used to create models that help us easily visualize the information. With these as a guide, we were able to sample the clay to do thermoluminescence testing, and the results told us that the date of the last firing could have been as long ago as 800 years, older than we'd originally thought. We are absolutely thrilled at the extent to which this collaboration has allowed us to see just how ancient, how unique, and how exceptional our figures really are.
For all these reasons, we're thrilled to have the objects in our collection and to lend them to this important exhibition, which opens here in Chicago, but will be traveling to 2 other venues, both in the United States and in Canada.